I am the Witch of Jasmine and welcome back to my channel. So, today I have a reading for my Virgo moons. How y'all doing? I hope you guys are doing good since our last reading. I know you guys just had a full moon in Virgo, so I hope you got through that pretty okay. Not feeling too chaotic and all over the place. If you are, I totally understand. I'm not a Virgo moon and I'm still feeling chaotic, so. Anyway, let's just take some time now to take some deep breaths and ground yourself and chill out a bit. At least now we're at the waning moon, so hopefully things will calm down a bit for you. There we go. Oh my gosh. Wow, what a surprise. My lighting is... Oh my god, hold on. Okay, that's that's gonna have to work. Oh, hold on. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, shadow cards. Please work with me. Thank you. Okay. Okay, Virgo moons. Let's get into it. So we've got higher power. Oh my god, I love when this card comes up. Higher power. Very nice. Okay. We have 10 of Pentacles reversed. The Emperor reversed. Judgment. Four of Pentacles reversed. The World. And Ace of Wands. Wow, okay. Alright, interesting to see this same card here that came up in our last reading. This Ace of Wands that was also a shadow card. I do remember our last reading. I remember in that reading it said you were kind of starting a project or starting something new where you were working with people and you were having a tough time. Kind of just because you were worried there were problems where there weren't any, right? Kind of the what ifs, right? And I was there to tell you, no, everything's fine, you're good. So, Four of Pentacles reversed. You know, when I describe Four of Pentacles, I usually use the analogy of like, if somebody, you know, grew up without a lot of money, and then they like got older and then they accumulated a lot of money. Or maybe they just like ended up in some kind of job where they got a lot of money, right? So then they become very scared to spend that money because they're very scared of it going away because they know how important it is and that's something that they wanted all their life and now they have it and they're scared to spend it. They're scared to give it to other people, right? They become very stingy, very greedy. That's Four of Pentacles. Especially when we have it reversed. It's very, you know, looking at this image, right? We have this person who's just holding on to this thing and they don't look good, right? They're very skinny, very pale. They, you know, this card reminds us that like it's not a bad thing at all to be, you know, very careful of whatever it is that you care about, but you don't want to hurt yourself in the process, right? Again, especially with the context of our last reading, I think this project you're working on, I'm assuming this is still about career. You care so much about it, right? That you could be holding yourself back. And especially we've got this 10 of Pentacles here, right? Which shows us that you might be in a place right now where you feel like you should be getting rewarded, reap the rewards of what you sowed, right? If I said that right. And you're not, right? You feel like you should be making some progress by now, and you're not. Like, there's just something off. There's some kind of blockage, right? Yeah, I think that's it. I think, you know, it's kind of like by being so scared that you're not, you know, you're going to accidentally do something wrong, you're not doing anything, right? Which really just ends up hurting yourself in the end. So there's that. We have the Emperor reversed as well. I like to throw this out there just because I feel like I should. For me personally, and I'm not a Virgo moon, this is not about me, but this is my deck. So I will say personally, whenever I see the Emperor, that always represents my dad, my father. So for some of you, this might be representing him right now. If he's related to any of this, might not. That's totally fine. I just always have to throw this out there. Or, I mean, it could be just like a fatherly figure. Actually, the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm kind of feeling like this is representing a person. Like an authority figure, like a boss. Right? And having that reversed. So the Emperor as a card, as an archetype, it represents that like masculine authority, leadership, structure kind of figure. And it might not be a literal man, it's just the archetype, regardless of gender. And we also have this ram kind of imagery, which makes me think Aries as well, which is that, you know, dominating kind of force. So when we have that reverse, it's definitely, you know, seeing that those negative qualities of that archetype, like a tyrant, you know, somebody who's very cold, somebody who's very, you know, my way or the highway, or more like my way or you're in trouble, more like that, you know. So I don't know. I actually do kind of feel like in this case, this is representing somebody. Again, it could be like a father for you. Like I said, this always represents, for me personally, my dad, but certainly could be a boss in this case. But we have the World below this Emperor reversed, which is really interesting because the World is about like the end of something, the completion of something. It's like a feeling very fulfilled and successful and all this great stuff, you know? Yeah, I want to show you this one up close because we have this figure sitting among all of these like scary faces. Right? With this deck in particular, which I have listed in my description if you're ever curious about the decks that I use. But this one, the author in this particular deck, the creator, describes the World card as being, part of it as being, you know, saving yourself. That's what he says, right? Pulling yourself out of this, completing whatever it is that you want to complete, you know, whatever goals or whatever yourself, right? Despite all this scary stuff. I think this middle part is just telling, you that, I don't know, I think that's a really hopeful card, right? Despite this authoritarian figure, I think that's very encouraging. I think it's showing that there is very much this part of you. Again, this is a shadow card, so it's your inner world. It's just this part of you that is very determined to fight through that, For some reason with this reading, so much of this is like end of a big cycle vibes. But for some reason there's part of me that's also feeling like that's not, it's not in a literal way. I don't know. Virgo moons, it's always your readings that like really, they really make me think. Because we have this judgment card too, which comes right before the world. This is a 20, that's a 21, and 21 is the end, right? Along with this 10 of Pentacles and Ace of Wands, which are, about ends and beginnings of cycles. But with Judgment too, that card is kind of a call to action to, or it encourages you to do some self-reflection. Not necessarily in a bad way, just in the sense that everybody needs to self-reflect sometimes. Honestly, of course. Honestly, but fairly and with compassion, right? You should always be kind to yourself. I don't know. I mean, this reading does really signal to me that there's like a new cycle, or I guess I probably should use the word chapter more than I use the word cycle. It's just in my head, I think of it all as being very cyclical, but I think not everybody would agree with that. A new chapter, right? But I kind of feel like it's more in your inner head, your heart, your soul, right? I think it's more that, not maybe for some of you, I mean, who knows, maybe you're starting a new chapter now. Again, this is a general reading, but I do think this is more so, I mean, especially because it's a moon reading, right? I feel like this is more so talking about you as a person. Your soul is kind of leveling up, I guess, right? Which is not something I say lightly, okay? I do not say that in all my readings. Again, I know I keep referring back to our last reading, but I think there are these things that you're working through and you're doing a good job of it. And this reading is here to encourage you. Like maybe you're going to have some kind of like breakthrough soon. I don't know. Or some kind of, again, especially with this Judgment card, maybe you're just going to have some like realization of like, oh, I never realized that I'm like that. But that makes a lot of sense. Or like, I don't know, like, oh wow, I never realized I did this so much. Maybe I need to do this instead. Or like, you know what I mean? Like some kind of like a leveling up. I mean, if any of you are in therapy, this could be a good sign. You're going to have a really good therapy session soon. You'll have a good breakthrough. Something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to get a little more specific, but I can sometimes I can only get so specific, with these cards. They only tell me so much. So, and then of course, lastly, we have our Oracle card here, which is Higher Power. I love seeing this card because when this card comes up, it's like this one can be interpreted so many different ways. So I'm just going to kind of lay it out for you, and whatever resonates with you, that's what it is. Okay. Higher Power is about, when it comes up, it tells me that this is a really good time for you to, if there is a higher power that you believe in, to try connecting with that. If you don't believe in any higher powers, any God or the universe or I don't know, whatever, that's fine. That just means to take some time for yourself, you know. But if you do believe in a higher power, now's a really good idea, a good time to kind of lean on them, you know, to pray if that's what you like to do, to speak with them. But also when I see it, it always just kind of feels like, and I don't mean this in like a mediumship type of way. I'm not a medium. I'm not communicating with anybody. But it just kind of feels like it's a sign that whatever God, goddesses, deity, whatever you work with, they're kind of just giving you a little wave hello. I don't know. It always feels like that to me. So, again, no one's speaking through me. I'm just saying when this card comes up, that's just what I think. So, anyway, oh my god, my Virgo moons. Thank you for another challenging reading. I mean that in a nice way, though. But anyway, I hope that you connected with this. I hope this makes you feel encouraged. There's certainly really not anything, I was gonna say there isn't anything bad, but there's nothing that's making me worry for you. But yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know. You can leave a comment or you can just reach out to me, whichever you prefer. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!